Good morning, magic players and card collectors of all kinds. Welcome back to the channel. It is a beautiful Tuesday morning, although I've heard that it's supposed to rain and the clouds are definitely out. As you can see over there, pretty cloudy. So I'm going to shoot this video quick and get home to Kaiba because I want to get him out this morning just in case before it rains. I suspect that I checked earlier and it said it's supposed to be not till this afternoon, but I have a feeling that with my luck I'll make lunch and as we're eating that's when the storm will start, and then he'll be stuck inside and he'll be sad. Or worse, he'll drag me outside in the storm. But I really don't think the second option is going to happen, because he usually, if he does that, he will only drag me out for like maybe a block or two and then he'll give up. He really doesn't like the rain. But speaking of my boy, I hope you guys will tune into the videos I posted yesterday, the short and the long video, both about our trip to the park on Sunday. To be honest, I think those are some of the best videos I've ever cut together. I'm pretty proud of those ones. Lots of good tech stuff added in, and I cut together some of the songs myself pretty nicely, I think. They flowed decently well, hopefully. But yeah, so pretty proud of those videos, and going to keep trying to make some more Kaiba content, of course, for you guys. We've still got, I think there's still one video for like snow related stuff that I need to post yet that I just never cut together, and I have like a random video from back before the snow even really came that I still need to cut together as well. So there's still a couple of Kaiba videos in the backlog that I got to get to, but of course we will also keep making more Kaiba content for you guys. With the spring started now, I suspect there will be lots of ball in the backyard videos once he gets excited enough to start wanting to play with the ball again some more. But for now, anyways, that's all I've got for you with regards to that, and that's not what we're here for anyways. It's Tuesday, as I said, and Tuesday means it's time for Dollarama Draws of Destiny! Today I felt like cracking the final pack of the old school Dollarama Draws of Destiny packs. This is the last one that I've ever been able to find and buy, so I don't believe they make them this way anymore. Which means there could be some really cool old school cards in here that actually have appreciated in value significantly since then. With new sets coming out, a lot of older cards get greater monetary value. Not that that's necessarily what I'm about in particular on this channel, but it's just something that is always fun to consider. And we got 2 packs of the regular Destiny as well. So I think we're going to save the last pack for the final pack, and we're just going to start with the 2 regular ones. And we'll see how we do. I might tack in some Kaiba stuff in here. I haven't decided yet. If I do, I will put cuts either in between the packs, or I will put a super cut at the end with all the Kaiba stuff in one flow. I haven't decided yet, though, if I'm going to add any Kaiba stuff today or not. Might just keep it short for you guys, since we had all that beautiful Kaiba stuff yesterday, and I don't want to overflood the algorithm per se, and then that some my nice videos not get viewed. Right now I think the big videos only had like maybe a half dozen views, so I would love it if more people saw it. Fathom Fleet Cutter. 3 and a black for a pirate. When it enters the battlefield, destroy target creature an opponent controls that was dealt damage this turn. That's not bad. 3 and a black for a 3/3. Yeah, I would take that. Fiery Hellhound. 1 and 2 red. Plus for a 2/2, and if you pay a red, it gets +1/+0 until end of turn. That's not terrible either. Mugging. Deals 2 damage to target creature. That creature can't block this turn. That's interesting. Downside being its sorcery speed. But, alright. Ooh, we got a horse. I don't have a lot of horse cards. Unfortunately, the horse deck that I would love to build is Shadowfax, but Shadowfax is only white and red, so I wouldn't be able to include this anyways. Dusk Charger, 3 and a black for a 3/3. Huh. I'm sensing a theme. This one has Ascend. Ooh. It gets +2/+2 as long as you have the Seize Bless. Ah, well, that's lame. That's like the worst Ascend trigger ever. Usually when a card has Ascend, it has some really cool ability afterwards. And Ascend is super easy to do in Commander, but that's just going to be coming up 5/5 with nothing else. You're going to the back of the pile. You disappoint me. Hooded Assassin, 2 and a black for a 1/2. Enters the battlefield, either put a +1/+1 counter on it, or destroy target creature that was dealt damage this turn. Nice. Nissa Zendikon, 3 and a green. Enchant land. Enchanted land is a 4/4 elemental creature with haste and reach. And when the enchanted land dies, return that card to its owner's hand. Nice! So you can get the extra landfall. That's cool. Ooh, we pulled this guy again. We've pulled him a lot lately. I think this is like the 3rd or 4th copy I've pulled of him recently. I mean, he's a decent enough legendary. If somebody else needs a copy of this, by all means, reach out to me if you're watching these videos. Join the Discord. That would be the best way to do so. But I mean, I don't need 3 or 4 copies of him because I play Commander, so probably going to only use him in 1 or 2 decks. And then the other cards are just going to kind of sit there in my collection. As long as he hasn't been dealt damage yet, he has hexproof and can't be blocked, which is kind of cool. But as soon as somebody deals damage to him, as long as he hasn't dealt damage yet, pardon me, then he has hexproof and can't be blocked. But as soon as he deals damage to somebody, then I get to make an assassin with Menace, and I get to return an equipment card from my graveyard to the battlefield and attach it to the token that I just created, which is kind of cool. The downside to him is unless you get him into, unless you're playing him as a commander and you keep putting him out over and over again, or you flash him in and out a bunch of times, the likelihood that he's going to be able to get the hexproof and the blocking triggers is pretty slim. Kind of zoned out there a little bit. I apologize as I was explaining what I was trying to say. Verdant Haven. I like the artwork on it. 2 and a green. Enchant land. When this enters, you gain 2 life. Whenever enchanted land is tapped for mana, its controller adds 1 mana of any color to his or her mana pool. In addition. Ooh, nice. It's pretty good. I like the Zendikon the best still so far, but that is pretty good. Birthing Hulk. 6 and a green for a 5/4 with Devoid. When it enters, put 2 colorless Eldrazi Scion tokens onto the battlefield, which have tap to sacrifice and add colorless to your mana pool. And then I guess in theory, you could sacrifice both those tokens to regenerate this if it died. Familiar's Ruse. 2 blue, for an instant. As an additional cost to cast this, you have to return a creature you control to your hand, or the owner's hand. But then you get to counter a spell, so it's decent. That's you play ETB triggers again. Phyrexian Rager. You draw a card and you lose a life when it enters the battlefield. For 2 and a black, you get a 2/2. That's okay. Enoch Survivalist. 1 and a green for a 2/1 Megamorph. If you pay 1 and a green, you can flip this thing after paying 3 to put it face down. When you flip it, it gets a +1/+1 counter. And when it's turned face up, it destroys an artifact or enchantment. I like the Rager a little bit better than what I was originally thinking, so I'm going to put that a little further up, but this one's going towards the back, I think. Tireless Missionaries. 4 and a white for a 2/3. When it enters the battlefield, you gain 3 life, and that's all, so not the best unless you're going to flicker it a bunch. Final Revels. 4 and a black. Either all creatures get +2/+0 until end of turn, or all creatures get -0/-2 until end of turn. Decent way to clear off a bunch of tokens, per se. Were any of these old school, by the way? I didn't think to check that. No, doesn't look like it. 2011s, and then this one is actually a 2007, which is close, but not there yet. And Serapadian Simulacrum. 1/1 for 1 red. Has haste. Pay 3 in red, sacrifice it, and it deals 4 damage to target creature. It's a nice little artifact goblin, but nothing super special. We have met the legendary quota though, so we have the streak kept alive at least, but we've been keeping it alive with the same legendary for a while now, and that's kind of getting a little dull. So let's hope we pull another legendary today, and maybe it'll be something cooler. Maybe in that last old school pack we'll get something neat. Who knows? But here's pack number 2 coming at you. What's in store? Let's find out. Guardian's Pledge. 1 and 2 white. White creatures you control get +2/+2 until end of turn. Instant speed? Yeah, okay, I like that. That's decent. Scouter Skull Recruit. 3 and 2 red. Menace. Giant Warrior Ally. Okay, so it could go in my allies deck that I'm eventually building. 4/4. Deadly Recluse. Classic Spider. I do have a few copies of it, but I do like this one as well. And there's a solid chance that I'm going to put it into my Death Touch deck because I don't think I have a copy in there yet. Grapple with the Past. 1 and a green, mill 3 cards, and you may return a creature or a land from your graveyard to your hand. It doesn't have to be one of the ones you just milled, so that makes that one a lot better than the regular version, or some of the other versions I've seen. I meant to say. Just missed the mark, 2002. So close to being old school. Disruptive Pit Mage, 2 and a blue for a 1/1. Tap to counter target spell unless its controller pays 1. That is cool. And you can morph this thing for blue by paying 3 to put it face down and then flipping it face up. That is cool. I like this one a lot, actually. There's a solid chance that's going to go into my mono blue deck that Snoop loves so much. That might be the card of the day, too. Anytime you want, you can tap this to counter a spell by making a person pay an extra 1. That's pretty damn good. Prophetic Prism. Enters the battlefield, you draw a card, pay 1 and tap this to give 1 mana of any color, so it's decent for mana fixing. Not my favorite kind because you have to pay for it, but at least it only costs 1 for 1. I hate the ones that are like 2 for 1. That's just silly to me. The hollowness is nice of this, though. I really like the way the artwork shines in the hollow. I don't think the camera's catching it as well as I would like it to, unfortunately, but basically like the diamond is really shiny and the rainbow coming out of it into the person's eye is super shiny. And the rest of the card has like a little bit of a hollowness to it, but it's not the same texture per se. Sanguine Spy, 2 and a black for a Vampire Rogue. Menace Lifelink, pretty solid, 2/3, yeah. Pay 1, sacrifice another creature, look at the top card of your library, you can put that card into your graveyard. Okay. At the beginning of your end step, if there are 5 or more mana values among cards in your graveyard, you may pay 2 life if you do draw a card. I like you! I think you just became card of the day, actually. This was pretty cool, but that... It's tight. Both of them definitely beat the Zendikon. As much as I like the Zendikon, it's definitely nowhere near as good as those two. Stampeding Rhino, 4 and a green for a 4/4 with trample. I like you. You're cute. Baker's Bane Duo, 1 and a green, 2/2. You should go up closer. Create a food when it comes into play. And whenever you expend 4, this thing gets +1/+1 until end of turn. If you pay 4, the 4th mana that you pay per turn is what triggers this. I don't really like the expend trigger, to be honest. In Bloomburrow, it was one of my least favorite mechanics, but it's still a cute card. Ooh, a Barrow Blade. Equipped creature gets +1/+1. Whenever equipped creature blocks or becomes blocked by a creature, that creature loses all abilities until end of turn. That is a solid pull, too. Very solid indeed. This pack is fire, guys. That's 3 amazing pulls in this pack. Forgotten Cave. Enters the battlefield taps for red, cycles for red. Does not actually count as a cave, apparently. Interesting. Pillarfield Ox. I'm not really sure if there's been actually all that many bad cards in this pack. I think this pack's been pretty solid. I think the Raccoon might be the worst card so far. Until now. This is just a 2/4 for 3 and a white, and that's kind of meh. Whoop! Oh no! I wasn't supposed to throw you on the floor though, meh. Poor goat. Or ox. Doesn't look like an ox to me. That definitely looks more like a ram or a goat or something, but sure, we'll go ox. Desert of the Indomitable. Land Desert comes into play tapped, taps for green, cycles for 1 and a green. Yeah, I like that. I like that. That's a decent card. And I need some deserts, so yeah. Sensory Deprivation. One blue, sorry. Enchant creature. Enchanted creature is -3/-0. Eh. Bone Picker. 3 and a black. Costs 3 less to cast if a creature died this turn, though. Flying Death Touch 3/2. That's pretty solid. You play this on your turn after you've done your battle phase, and you've got a pretty dang good card for 1 black. Yeah, right. I mean, I'm definitely happy with that pack. That pack was insanely good. I'm definitely going to say right now, I think card of the day is the Sanguine Spy. This is runner-up, though, and it's not very far behind. But can the last... Oh, no! The pile is falling over! Yeah. Can the last pack of old school Dollarama give us something amazing? Something that will trump these 2 cards and make us extra excited for an amazing, cool, legendary pull that we haven't seen. Maybe a card that we haven't pulled in a really long time. What we got? What we got? What we got? We got... Ooh, a Twinferno. That's pretty cool. 1 and a red. When you cast your next instant or sorcery spell this turn, you can copy it. Or target creature you control gains double strike until end of turn. That is pretty damn good. I'm happy with that. Hickory Woodlot. I like getting more copies of this. I think I have like 3 right now. But I mean, every time I can get an extra copy of this, I'm not going to knock it, because if you get it into a deck that can proliferate, you never lose this land. And this land is pretty solid. Basically, it enters tapped with 2 counters on it, and you have to tap it to remove a counter from it. But when you do, you add 2 green mana instead of 1. Then if there's no counters on it, you have to sacrifice it. But if you can proliferate it, you can keep those counters going, and then you never actually have to sacrifice, and you're always getting 2 green mana per turn, which is pretty good. It's also fantastic in a deck that actually recurs lands, so nice pull. Boros Guildgate, less so. Although I like the artwork on this one, but I'm pretty sure we've got enough copies of that we don't need more. Intrepid Rapid, I don't think I need any more copies of him either, but very cute. I do love you. You're very cute. Glacial Revelation, 2 and a green. Reveal the top 6 cards of your library. Put any number of snow permanent cards from among them into your hand. Put the rest into your graveyard. I do eventually plan to build a snow deck, so that's kind of neat. Very specific, though. Ret Crop Spearmaster, 2 and a white for a 3/1. You can exert this thing as it attacks. If you do, it gets +1/+0 and first strike. No thanks. Corrupted Graphstone, 2. Enters the battlefield tapped. Tap. Choose a color in your What? Choose a color of a card in your graveyard. Add 1 mana of that color to your mana pool. That's kind of cool. That is really cool. I like that a lot. Ashmouth Hound, sorry. 1 and a red for a 2/1. When it becomes blocked or blocks a creature, it deals 1 damage to that creature. Doomed Operative. 1 and a black for a 2/2. As long as you control an artifact, this thing gets +1/+0 and has Death Touch. And it's a rogue. So, yeah, that's decent enough. I'm happy with that. Militia Rallier. 2 and a white. Can't attack alone. Whenever it attacks, untap target creature. Okay. Street Wraith. 3 and 2 black for a 3/4 with Swamp Walk. Or you can pay 2 life and discard this thing and draw a card. I mean, there's nothing wrong with Swamp Walking, that's for sure. Excavating Anorid. 4 and a green for a 4/4. When this thing enters the battlefield, you can sacrifice a land. If you do, draw a card. As long as there are 7 or more cards in your graveyard, this thing has +1/+1 and Vigilance. Ooh. That could be cool for my Frogs deck eventually that I want to build. Monastery Flock. 2 and a blue. Defender Flying Morph. It's a 0/5. Apparently counts as a bird. Interesting. I mean, it makes sense as a flock, but I'm just saying, like, 0/5 is weird for birds. Usually they have at least some attack power. And final pull. Oh, nope, there's 2 more. Ambush Wolf. It's not my favorite. It's okay, but it's not my favorite. And finally, last card of the day, we have Gravity Negotiator. 3 and a blue for a devoid flying. 2/3. Whenever it attacks, you can pay colorless. If you do, another target creature gains flying until end of turn. Okay. Okay. It's not terrible. It's not terrible. Yeah. This has been fun, for sure, as per usual on a Tuesday. I definitely think I'm still sticking with card of the day being Sanguine Spy, but I mean, I like the Coptic Gaffstone, but that second pack was definitely the fire pack of the day, for sure. Anywho, I'm going to cap it off there. If I don't add any Kaiba stuff into this video, I hope that you guys don't mind. And like I say, please go check out those 2 videos I posted yesterday. I'm pretty proud of them. And in the meantime, in between time, much love to you all from Kaiba home and myself in the car. To you, take care. Thank you for watching and have a wonderful day. Bye.